Hi, I'm Seema Nair, and I'm creating this video to increase awareness on fibromyalgia. So, fibromyalgia is an autoimmune disorder, and it's very underrated, if you will, because it's an invisible illness. It's autoimmune disorder. People can't tell when you're sick. It doesn't show up on your face. You appear as a regular individual, but your life is a drag. If you're a fibromyalgia patient, a sufferer, you'll know what I'm talking about. So this video is basically for people who are suffering from fibromyalgia or have loved ones suffering from them, right? And I don't want to call us as, it as suffering from fibromyalgia. We are more like fibromyalgia warriors because every day we fight to live every single day. Small things in life, which for other people could be normal, is not very normal for us. Like waking up from bed and brushing your teeth. Oh my God, your arms hurt, doesn't it? Sometimes just the sensitivity, the extreme sensitivity to light is not normal for other people. Maybe migraine patients might understand, but then, not very many individuals understand that. Everything gets amplified when you have fibromyalgia flare up. So I just want to actually share my experiences with you guys. I've been suffering from fibromyalgia for over 25 years. And then I want to hear your experiences as well, so that, when you share each other's experiences about how do you manage it and what are the symptoms you're going through, what do you do about it. Some people just give up on life and, they just say, this is not meant for me. So I want to create this forum, this platform, so that we can help each other out. How much ever you say, your family, your parents, your spouse, your children will not be able to understand your condition, and it's not their fault, right? I mean, this is an invisible illness. Blood is not oozing out of your body. When you go to an ER, you know how they say, "Oh, is there blood?" No, then you got to keep waiting because we want to serve other people who are in more severe status, right? So, I want to share my experiences at the end. I mean, the basic message I want to give out is we need to celebrate and congratulate ourselves to having made so far in life, right? It's not easy. Every day is a battle that we're fighting. And then try and create our own support system so it helps everyone who is suffering from this. So my journey has been, I'm 41 years old and I've been suffering from fibromyalgia for the past 25 years. My first sign of symptoms, so before that, I was a very strong kid growing up. I was a sprint runner, captain of a girls' dodgeball team in the school, and very, very good at academia. A lot of extracurricular activities in my high school, including dancing and outside school sports, etc., etc., right? So I was on the go all the time, no time to sit. One of those kids who, when starts playing, is fearless. I would just jump from a two-story sorry, two-story building and just measure my ability to do certain things. So very type A, I would say. And when I was 16, 17, I remember it was my 11th grade, I went out for a picnic with my friends and I just couldn't express my fatigue that time. It was slightly raining and people were walking, probably 2 miles, 3 miles. Should be nothing for a 16-year-old, but I was just dragging myself. I don't believe after that I ever went for any excursions or picnics or outings with my friends or anyone after that, because that experience is it still daunts me, So it was that level of fatigue that I had not experienced ever before. And I still remember it, that, I was dragging myself, and being a very strong kid, that acceptance doesn't come into you, right? So it started from there, and then the second stage of it was dizziness. I would feel dizzy while climbing stairs, or just abruptly, just dizzy. My head is spinning all of a sudden. I mean, not that strong spinning where you would just faint, but there's this constant zzz going on, and like your vision gets blur, and that was the second one. Then mixed with that was sensitivity to sun. Even if I'm out there for more than, let's say, a minute in the hot scorching heat, um, mm, uh, I would just vomit. And then in the middle of the road, I'm just vomiting, right? And extreme headache, and feel that body was filled with acid. Can't explain that feeling. It was very bad, and until that whole acid gets out, and I've puked to death, I just couldn't move. And on and off, I would have this cramps in my stomach, unexplainable. I mean, those cramps where I couldn't, move from this position. And that started very early on when I was sixth grade. It happened probably twice a year, and I didn't know the cause. But you're a strong person, you just move on. So slowly and steadily, things started getting, just worse and worse. When I was 22 years old, by the time I was already living with fatigue and dizziness for 4, 5, 6 years, and nobody could tell. I mean, I don't think any of my classmates back then, I mean, they must have heard me repeatedly saying, "Oh my God, this hurts," or "Oh my God, I'm feeling tired," or something like that. But I think I was viewed as a very lazy person. All of a sudden, there was a drift in life where from being a hardcore sporty person to being a nerd, because I didn't have it, I couldn't do anything else. So I was like, I might as well study because I was good at it, right? So so that was it. And once I started working, I remember my shoulder started hurting a lot, and I thought it was just my job on the computer, and started looking into my posture and things like that. But I don't think it got any better. And then life was moving on. I was quite an ambitious person. Came to the US to do my master's, 2 years, very rough. Of course, it's a different lifestyle, right? I mean, all of a sudden, you're doing everything on your own, cleaning your own house, which I've never done before, cooking, all those things. I mean, silly, but if you're a fibromyalgia patient, it's not silly. Every small thing counts. Got married, when I was 28. I had a baby girl, and then after that, my health started deteriorating even more. Maybe my condition was the same, but then I have more responsibilities now. So there is job, there is home, there is a kid, and I'm a type A personality. I want to do it all, and I want to do it well. um, no shortcuts here and there. So I think that all of that messed up my health big time. I went through a lot. I mean, everybody around me, I'm sure, must have seen that, but then it was not very obvious on my face. When I stepped out of my house, I was this very active individual, took care of everything on my own, never asked for help. Uh, Ran a company for a few years. That took a toll on my health, I believe, also, because I wanted to do everything very well, very ethical, very timely person, and no delays in anything. Have to deliver everything on time and to the T, etc., etc. Right? So ultimately, something's gotta give up, and that was my health. But there was no awareness what was happening. There was no time, first of all, to take care of anything, or self-analysis. No introspect happening, no soul searching happening. It's just on the go, go, go all the time. 2009 January, I mean, I very vividly remember that my friend and I said, this is not done. You can't live like this. So we both researched on our own, but almost at the same time, while we were chatting on Google Chat, we realized, there are these symptoms matching. We can find conditions like chronic fatigue syndrome, fibromyalgia. So we found a few things and nailed down to two. And then I went to a doctor and I said, well, see, I've done this, and all records are perfect. I don't know what's wrong with me. I feel tired all the time. And until that time, I wouldn't use the word fatigue. While I read on all these things, I came across this word fatigue, and I'm like, yeah, I stopped using the word tired after that, because tired is underrated. I mean, not underrated. I mean, it's not a word that can justify the fatigue, the amount of fatigue you face as a fibromyalgia patient. So my doctor then said, okay, you know what? Stop reading. Don't overanalyze your condition. Try this medicine, and he gave me a medicine called Lyrica. It was a sample medicine. I remember it comes in this cardboard sheet, and a pack with all these disclaimers written on it, and it says not for selling and stuff. And it was 75 mg of Lyrica. I took it in the morning, like at around 9:30. Noon that day, my life changed. Lyrica is the medicine, by the way. And my life changed. And I'm like, all of a sudden, I'm hitting a new normalcy. So extreme fatigue was my normal condition to being normal, like you guys normal, or non ill people normal, right? And oh my god, my life just all of a sudden changed. Of course, things don't last, drugs don't last for long in your body, so it drains me out at the night. I have the medicine the next day, and after a month, 75 mg is not enough anymore, so I switched to 100, 150. It went to 450. When it went to 450, and then slowly I started hitting the peak there as well, and my body stopped reacting to 450 mg as well. I said, oh no, no, no. I enjoyed the medicine for a year or maybe two, and then I decided that I gotta do something else about it. Then I started researching again, went to various doctors again, and you name it, and I've tried it. I don't know. Maybe I have a long list. I've written it down somewhere. Let me see, what all have I done. The things that I've done is, first of all, started with chiropractors. And then one of them, I mean, I went to various ones, but one of the chiropractors mentioned that, why don't you go off gluten, dairy, soy, egg, and yeast? And I'm like, how can people live without it, right? This was 2011. And suddenly I started reading up on it and looked like there is a whole different world out there. So I started, just dropped all these things from my diet. And of course, because lack of awareness, I didn't know what all things have gluten. Like now I know soy sauce has gluten, ketchup has gluten, but that time I just stopped wheat products. And then I slowly, steadily, in a year, I realized, oh my god, all these things have gluten, all these things have dairy. So I started going dairy free, gluten free, but then still doing the wrong move, because then I would go to soy equivalents, or I would go to something else which was heavy in starch, like gluten free bread. And then there was yeast still in that, so I had to get off. It took me time to learn and get off all these things, but I did eventually, which kind of improved my health a little bit. Then I did Ayurveda, then I did naturopathy, which was like no medicine, pure fasting, water fasting for 4 or 5 days. Very tough the first 2 days, but after that it's like, oh, it's a breeze. I couldn't live without a meal for like as long as I remember. I mean, after I was like 18, 19, I don't think I've skipped a meal. And then, or maybe after 2021, I've never skipped a meal. So I would feel hungry and agitated when I'm hungry. All of a sudden, like, sugar is low, and I feel like, oh my God, my, life is over, kind of draining feeling. And two, now I am fasting and I'm living off water, juices. I did juice therapy for 6 days, where I was just living on broth and non-pulpy juice, like freshly squeezed juice, but then without the pulp and etc. I did detoxing for 3 weeks, and then time and again just kept doing something or the other. Lost a lot of weight. I was 160 pounds and I got down to 130, 132ish, and I've been stable ever since. I fluctuate 5 or 7 pounds here and there, but then on an average I'm 130. And I started feeling better all of a sudden, right? And then I also started making changes to my lifestyle, as in, what I feed into my body and mind, both, right? The thoughts and the food, both were being watched. And I started just a different perspective to life, and started listening to Dr. Wayne Dyer. I'm a huge fan, and he's no more. When I heard his news about him passing away, I thought I lost a therapist for life. In between, I also went through a lot of counseling and therapy, just to come out of any unresolved issues in my mind, or I don't know. I mean, just general stuff. I wanted to get the gunk out. Did all these things. Everyone has been very supportive in my life. My parents, my child, my friends, everybody around me, relatives. I'm very fortunate that way. I had a support system around me, and that is what I want to spread around. Even though people don't understand your condition, if you have some people who understand you, I know how tough it is. People don't understand, and I know how you feel, because I've gone through it. 25 years has not been an easy journey for me, but I want to tell you that there is hope. I'm seeing some normalcy, a combination of medicine and lifestyle, and conscious changes, decision that you make in your life. Everything counts. Every little things count, right? And I don't know, I mean, how I lived like this for so many years, but then past 3-4 years have been, each year has been better than the previous year. I go through tough days, of course. There are more bad days than good, but then at least I have some good days. So I had never experienced that prior to 2009. Then after 2009 it was more medicines, right? And now I've reduced my Lyrica dosage from 450 mg to 100 mg. By the way, I went 1 year without Lyrica at all. But then, oh my God, life was a drag that time. This was 2013. Entire 2013 was a drag. In 2014, I decided, you know what? I don't want to kill myself and show myself that how strong I am. I am strong. I've lived so many years with this extreme fatigue and pain and dizziness and sensitivity to various things. And, so done. I've proven myself. I am a survivor. I am a warrior. And so I said, okay, let me do what makes me happy. What I can do, right? I mean, I'm not going to stretch myself on any area, whether it is work, although I'm a workaholic, but I do what I like to do now. And I've decided that I'm only going to do what I like to do. And seriously, things are just working out. It's just falling in place. And my relationship with my daughter has improved so much. When she was young, I would just snap at like the smallest of things, not at her. And I've coached her enough, saying, my daughter's name is Ria, and I tell her, Ria, if I shout at you, it's not you, it's me. Mama is ill. I sometimes cannot control myself. Some small things irritate me to an extent. I don't know what it is. I can't point it out. Sometimes it's a combination of fatigue and pain that just turns me into a biatch. And it just happens. So I trained my daughter saying, it's not you, it's me. I am sorry. Time and again I do apologize to her. My parents are very supportive, although I'm very hard on them too, but then they understand. And I'm very lucky to have a support system like this. My parents are my strength. My mom is a rock in my life. And my dad is that soothing, calming person behind me. My daughter is that person who says, Mama, it's all going to work out. I got this. That kind of a teenager. She's just 13 now. So I feel it was just the little things, a lot of little things that I did to my body, to my mind, to my life, to my relationship that made the change. So I want to collect as many people on the way and perk them up and tell them there is hope. Unfortunately, Lyrica is not a medicine that suits everybody. It doesn't work the same on everybody. I've talked to around 10 fibromyalgia patients in the past probably 6 months, out of which Lyrica has worked for 2. For the other 8, it hasn't. Unfortunately, you have to find your best medicine, consult with your doctor. In no way, shape or form am I a doctor or a physician or a certified individual. I'm just a fibromyalgia warrior. So I have to put that disclaimer out. I'm just saying the name of my medicine because it has helped me. Maybe you can consult with your doctor, try a small dosage, see if that makes a difference. There are other medicines out there for fibromyalgia. So just try it out. There is hope. Don't give up. You are a survivor. You are a warrior. There might be 10,000 people you come across who don't understand, but then there is another community, like 5 million of us in US reportedly suffer from this, right? And we are surviving, we are thriving. So I'm going to start a Facebook page for this. I'm going to put this video out on YouTube, and then every month I'll pick a topic. Maybe you guys can help me pick a topic. It could be something like, I've written it down somewhere, jotted it down, maybe over here. Just pull this thing out. Let me see. Yeah, I can do topics on work, diet, moods and emotion. Oh my God, if you're a fibromyalgia patient, jeez, it's drama in here, right? Drama. Then how do I change my thoughts? What helps me? What do I listen to? The YouTubes. Oh my God, YouTube is such a blessing to mankind. It can be used for good and for bad, but then, oh my God, every day I put myself to sleep hearing sometimes Dr. Wayne Dyer, sometimes it's, various audible books and things like that. We can talk about relationships and expectations. We can talk about the elements, the sun, the rain, the cold, the anything bothers us, right? There's this pain I have on the side of my arm. And if it's exposed to wind or even slightly cold breeze, oh my God, the sensation I get in my teeth, it's like when you hear the chalk resisting the board. It's that kind. So And there are so many symptoms. I can go on and on and on, and you guys probably, not everybody will relate to the same thing. I've heard headaches, but I don't get headaches, but I get extreme fatigue, extreme mood swings, muscle pain, lethargy. Oh my god, this thigh of mine is, it craves for attention. That's what I think, because it just doesn't want to move, and I have to like rub it and say, I have to prep it. It's my baby, that it just doesn't want to move. I'm sure some of you can understand me. Arms don't want to move. There was a time when I used to wake up in the morning and never fresh, of course. You guys know about it, right? Fibromyalgia patients never have a good sleep. Even if you sleep for 18 hours, you won't be fresh. But then my afternoon naps are very good for me. If I sleep for 2.5 hours in the afternoon, when I wake up, I'm a normal person. Normal like people who don't have fibromyalgia or people who don't have illness and are healthy, that kind of normalcy. So and very rare. I don't get to sleep in the afternoons. I'm a working woman. I'm a workaholic. I'm a mom. I'm a single child too. So my parents are my responsibility too. So I have it all. In terms of responsibilities, I've paid a lot of dues in my life, and I'm continuing to, hoping one day I don't have to do it anymore. But then life is going on, so there's no much time to rest. So I don't socialize much, although I have a lot of friends. It's all here via phone or internet, or going and coming to places is tough for me. If I have to I can't make plans, because I don't know how I would be feeling in the morning on that day. Will I feel like getting ready? I don't want to go in my PJs everywhere, right? Which I do most of the time. If I'm outside work, I'm in my track pants. Past 2 years, I've been able to wear jeans. So that's one other thing I was not able to do until 2-3 years back. I couldn't wear jeans. It was like rubbing against my raw skin. That's the feeling I got. But, I'm improving. So that's one addition. There were a lot of things I couldn't do. That having a cup of tea, I would keep it on my center table and I would have it like this. I couldn't lift up. Didn't have that muscle power at all, right? No strength. Although I'm very strong, I'm a sprint runner. I can beat anybody down if I want to. But then that's just a spurt of energy, and after that I'm dead. So it's like that, right? So I go high in energy and then I crash after that. So I have these two extremes. But then I'm a Taurian, so I'm a very grounded individual. Although I'm a bull, I'm a very grounded individual. So I think both these perspectives help me live a balanced. 70% of the time I'm very balanced in my head and my mind and everything. 30% of the time I'm just cuckoo. My daughter says you have two phases. You're a hippie at times, happy about everything and smiling and laughing about everything, and then the other 30%, I don't know what gets into you. Everything bothers you. And I keep coaching, and I'm like, Ria, it's not you, it's me. If I shout at you, it's me. If I tell my mom also, it's my struggle, my pain, my fatigue. Every small thing kind of bothers. And I know I know all of you are going through the same thing. I've seen a lot of YouTube videos where people are like, I don't want to live anymore. No, hang in there. We have to support each other through this. It's not easy. That's why I said celebrate each day. When you wake up, you have spent your earlier day and successfully in pain, but celebrate. You are a warrior. You are not a regular individual. So today is when the first time I saw on Amazon there are these fibromyalgia warrior t-shirts. I'm gonna buy a ton of those. I'm gonna a fibromyalgia propaganda if you can. I have to generate this awareness, and this is my target for 2017 and going forward in my life. In future, when I am financially independent, not sure when that happens. I'm living in one of the most expensive places in the country right now in California. But then I think I'm hopeful. I ran a business once. I was doing pretty well. My next venture might be equally big or bigger, right? So I'm waiting. Meanwhile, there's a rest period. Well, not rest. I work with the 12 to 14 hours a day even now on a job. But then I'm looking forward to a great life, and I want to give that hope to every other individual. I want to put these videos out every month. Check out your responses. I want to support as many as possible, and I want to get help in terms of, want to know your experiences in life, how you coped with situations. I'm still going through it. It's not that I've healed myself, right? It's a process. It's a whole life thing that I have to keep at it. It's an ongoing effort. Every day is a new day. I can never tell how I can feel tomorrow, so I exactly know the condition when you say that I don't want to live anymore, this life is not worth it, I've been through it, I still have those days, but then, I want to just start this and see where this goes. I'm very motivated in 2017, although my year started by being sick. I went on a vacation, came back, something didn't happen. I went on a cruise, believe it or not. I'm one of those. Went for a cruise for Bahamas and came back because I didn't have my passport. What the heck, right? But never mind, all said and done, I had a very good time with my daughter in Disney World and Universal. So I had a good vacation, but then started off sick this year. But now that I'm okay, and it's 10th of January 2017, and here I am starting this video movement and hoping that we all can come together, maybe have a walk for fibromyalgia. People have walks for cancer and so many other things. There is so many awareness, that ice bucket challenge and all that. I don't have the strength to do all that. All I can do is this. I hope one day I can write a book about screw you fibromyalgia or something like that, because I'm fighting and I ain't giving up on this, and I'm not letting you give up on it too, right? So if it's your family members suffering from it, guys, please understand that don't underestimate this condition. It's I can't tell how bad it is for individuals who are going through it. I'm smiling, see, you can't tell I'm going through it. I've heard somewhere some people say that fibromyalgia happens to type A personality. So maybe we spend energy into so many other things and thinking about it, and just cooking things in our head, being ambitious about things and all that we lose energy. And maybe that's what fibromyalgia is. And so we will talk about causes, possible causes, symptoms, food, diet, personalities, work, balancing life in general, philosophy, spirituality, etc., etc., in the coming few sessions. But this is my first one. It's an introduction. I'm Seema Nair, and I'm a fibromyalgia survivor. I'm a fibromyalgia warrior, and you're one too. Thank you.